talk about the one thing that you have to master in this lifetime. This is the key to transcendence. This is the key to everything that you are here to do as a conscious human being. And that is to discern the pathway to your own happiness. Creating an environment for you to be truly happy is the one and only goal that you have to focus on before you can do anything else in your life. If you are not happy, if the environment, the people, the places, the job, if any of these elements in your life are not yielding an output of joy and happiness within the self, then you are on the wrong path. That's as simple as the teaching needs to be. Your goal in this life is to find your happiness. And when you find your happiness, you will find your peace. And this is the key to transcendence. It doesn't get more complicated than that. So then how do we do this? What is the roadmap? What is the direction that we must head if we were looking towards that journey or that destination of finding our own happiness? Because again, it's not that pot of gold under the rainbow. Happiness is a constant state of being. It is a high vibrational output of what you are, an emanation of beingness. And to be able to be emanating this high frequency vibration of happiness and joy, you have to, first of all, be in an environment that is joyful, an environment that is organized, an environment that is peaceful and easy and non-toxic and non-judgmental. You have to surround yourself with individuals, and sometimes this means completely disengaging from all of the individuals, family members, etc. in your life, so that you can come into this neutral zone where you really know yourself, where you can really uncover how to propel yourself, how to create that happiness and joy for you. And sometimes the piece of that puzzle means stepping away from everything that is confusing, because when we talk about outside influences, when we talk about our happiness and what is constituting our happiness, oftentimes we're stuck in this perpetual cycle of simply responding to dramatic situations, responding to people's issues and problems and needs around us, and we never have time to ask ourselves the question, what makes us happy? And so the way that we discover that equilibrium or that algorithm to our own personal happiness is by going into that quietness, by really going through that process of self-discovery. And oftentimes what this means is that we have to shut out the outside world, all of these, the multitude of distractions, and really get back to who our self is, the matrix that is you, that divine frequency that is unique to just your beingness. And in this uniqueness, you have a certain set of needs and requirements and wants and desires that make up what is that calibration of joy and happiness for you. And it's not a static state. I want to be really clear on this. It's ever changing, because as you grow, as you develop, as you lean more into yourself, into your authentic self, you really start to unravel what creates happiness, joy, light, and love for yourself. And it's a little bit different for everybody. But once you figure it out, it's really easy to start to put the other pieces in place in terms of your own emotional well-being, your family well-being, your career, your purpose, all of these different things that are going to increasingly augment your happy, joyous vibration for your own life path. And this is what's going to lead into my next video about what your purpose is. But first, before you ever delve into or dive into that quest for what your personal purpose is, you have to figure out how to create a steady state of happiness and joy in your life. And we do this by the process of elimination, the process of introspection, and the process of transcending the chaos and the dramas and the needs of other people that are essentially energetic vampires to our own beautiful vibrational frequency. Okay, so let's go over first environmental factors in terms of your own happiness. The environment that you're in, it has to be supportive to your emotional well-being, your physical well-being, your health, your mental well-being, your spiritual needs. And this for me, and it's going to be different for every individual, but for me, this means a high level of organization. I love beauty around me. I love nature. So I have to be around nature. I have to see the sun. I have to see animals around me. I have to have fresh air, fresh fruits, fresh foods. Everything has to be really beautifully prepared in terms of what I'm putting into my body. And this is what's going to give me that environmental equilibrium so that I can create happiness. The other thing is I don't like a lot of clutter and chaos, because as you move through your day and as you're going through the motions and the tasks and all of these different things that you have to do, you need to be able to quickly find resources to move. You are an energy, so you're always in movement. And as you're transitioning from one thing to the next, it's really nice and it's really blissful to be super well organized and always have this knowingness about where things are that you need, your resources, those things that are going to propel you into the next action. So this is about creating that beautiful, joyous environment. Now, an extension of your environment, first we're looking at your home environment. So where are you living? It doesn't matter your financial situation. I've had the full gamut of different financial environments that I've been in, from very, very much on a budget to not really having a budget at all. And when we're creating a home for ourselves, even on a budget, we can create that beautiful, organized, safe cocoon around ourselves so that our home becomes a place that we can recharge, relax, and our own safe, sacred place. This is so essential for joy and happiness, that you create this beautiful home environment for yourself in terms of creating and elevating your frequency. Now, an extension of this would be your work life. Now, where you are working, what you are doing in terms of your career, your work-life balance, if you are in an environment that is not high vibrational, that demands a lot of you, that is energetically draining, but not mentally stimulating, meaning you can't be creative, you can't be an individual, you can't have your own opinion. These are elements of the environment that will affect your mental outlook, that will affect the output of joy that you can bring to the table. So make sure that you are very diligent and discerning in terms of where you choose to work, what you choose to do in terms of your career. Keep it high vibrational, and you'll notice that you're going to have a consistent output of a happy, joyful energy. And this will become easier and easier. Now, the other aspect of it is self-training and learning about the self. This is about that element of meditation, spiritual practice, learning. You have a body, you have a brain. One of the most amazing parts of having a body and a brain is the ability to use them. So getting out there, exercising, having movement, and having it created or having it tethered to your own joy. If you are doing something like going to the gym, and the reason that you're doing it is for external validation and not purely for your own joy, you're going to find that you're calibrating to those lower vibrational energies. You're always seeking outside yourself. So what I make sure to do with anything to do with my movement and my practices in terms of my body is I'm only ever doing these things for my own intrinsic joy. If I'm swimming, if I'm running, if I'm walking on the beach or going for a hike in the mountains, I'm doing it for my own joyous experience of my own body, my own kinesiology, what I can do with movement, and my own interaction with the external world. I'm not seeking validation from anything other than simply that exchange of my energy and the energy of nature. Now, let's take this a little step further. When we're talking about our brain and our mental state and how learning and creating, that act of creation, really tethers you into that flow state of extreme joy and happiness. Anytime we're learning, we are integrating new pieces of the self that are going to heighten in terms of our own energetic output, our understanding of the self, our understanding of others, and our understanding of the world at large. And learning is a beautiful way to spend our time in this linear time space. So it's something that I am doing daily, whether it is reading a book, listening to a podcast, engaging in some sort of creative activity like cooking, artwork, something to do with building business, collectively collaborating with other great minds, having dialogue. All of those things are highly stimulating in terms of calibrating ourselves to that joyous frequency. Now, there is an element of discernment that comes into this quest for personal happiness. We really have to start to know the self, know our needs, know what quiet time we require. Are we an extrovert? Are we an introvert? Myself, I am an extreme introvert, so I need a lot of time to recharge on my own. This is something that I require, and if I go outside of the box of that requirement, I start to get extremely irritable, frustrated, and my equilibrium of happiness goes down. And what I've noticed with this is that a lot of people that are extroverts, which means that they feed their energy on crowds, on other people, that really fills them up, it brings them joy. And there's not a right or wrong here. Being an introvert or being an extrovert, that's not a negative or a positive thing. It's just how you recharge, it's how you energize your energy body. And if you are an extrovert, that means you've got to be around a lot of people. You've got to get out. You've got to be social. You have to have lots of friends around. And those environments invigorate you and fill you up and re-energize your energy body. For an introvert, it's the absolute opposite. So even though those around you that might be more prone to extroversion might need a lot of these outside outlets, you don't. You need to go within. You need to have that quiet time. You need to calm your mind and do a lot of that introspection internally. You don't so much need that external factor to reassemble your own mental state and your energetic state. Then we have to figure out what are our wants and needs. What are the things that we require from relationship? What do we require from a spouse? What do we require from partnerships? What do we require from our family dynamics, our friendships? What creates that equilibrium of happiness for the self? And these are the questions, these are the discernments that you can't ask others about. You really, truly have to go deep within that self-exploration journey and know thyself. When you begin to know thyself, you cross this precipice where you understand exactly what you need. Then you start to get the courage to put up those boundaries, ask for those things you need, and then this shuffling process within your external reality starts to happen. You start to reject the things that don't lift you up. And it's not that they are wrong. They might be perfectly aligned for some other individual, but if they're not perfectly aligned for you, they're contributing to lowering your vibration and creating unhappiness or dis-ease or even that manifestation of disease within the body. So this is your journey to really figure out who and what you are and what your needs are. I'm gonna cut this video a little bit short, and in the next one, I'm gonna talk about purpose and finding your purpose. So once you have gotten to a place where you have a very clear roadmap of what creates happiness for you moment by moment in your daily scheduled structure, then all you have to do is really roll out the red carpet for that type of environment, those type of people, what you need in terms of creating that each and every day, and it becomes a very easy system. And with each plateau you hit, so every time you find yourself calibrating at a higher and higher state of this joy, happiness, bliss, unconditional love, you radiate a more powerful signal and powerful energy of healing to others around you. So this is a beautiful journey. It's not a selfish journey. It's actually the most important thing that you can ever do for your own self and for those around you. So I really want to invite you in 2023 to go, or 2025, I'm 2 years in the past, on 2025, to enter into this journey for yourself, to dive into the task of bringing forth that happiness quotient for yourself, that roadmap to absolute abundance in terms of your own vibrational frequency and your own output of happiness, joy, light, and love. Okay, see you in the next video.